I look rugged. I've been up late last night. Been up late. But I'm here. I hope you guys are doing well. Nobody here yet. That's fine. You know, I just talked to, I just talked to him. Uh, it's been a tough day. Good morning, Lisa. Morning, Chris. Us three are here. Oh, okay, now Carol Cardase. Good morning, sweetie. Jacob, good morning. Suzanne, good morning. Slow day. Barbara, good morning. That's a slow day for me too. Rose, Kim, JR, good morning. Uh, yeah, slow morning. Slow for me too. Kim, good morning. Okay, there's a lot of us here. Okay, Tom, well, it don't matter if just one of us. Yeah, that's right. If just one of us would chat. Good morning. Howdy there. Bill, Michelle, good morning. Laurie, Bill McKenzie, good morning, buddy. Kate, Barbara Campbell, good morning. Sky Hidden, okay. Donna, Lisa, Flora, Carolyn, okay, he's starting to go a little bit faster now. Sue, good morning, sweetie. Lysandra, okay, Marcia. Uh, First time I seen that Marcia, I tried to say Marcia or something like that. Crazy, huh? You know I am with names. Mans, good morning, sweetie. All the way over to, good morning, Rodney. Rodney not feeling too well this morning, so he may not be giving us a hard time. You know, I always know when Rodney's feeling good because I catch it. Good morning, Steve. Yeah, I catch it all day long. Uh, Joyce, good morning, Lisa. Uh, got lots of folks here to pray for this morning, guys. There's lots of people needing some prayers. And we'll go through that list here in a minute. Those that I have, there may be a lot more of us out here, you know. But we all need prayer, I guess, you know. Uh, Good morning. And I got so, I guess, concentrating more on that. People was telling me they needed prayer on be on a prayer list this morning. I kind of forgot my birthday list, so we'll have to start that over. I'll have to ask for birthdays here again in a minute because I had too much going on. Uh, Good morning there, Rita and Peggy. Good morning, Peggy. Peggy Irvin. Good morning. Peggy Coleman last night was out lights for. No, it was Dorothy. Dorothy Toller was out lights. She was out lights for several hours. A car hit a light pole and broke it off. And I got chatting with her last night. She said, "I wish I had one of those solar little generators." I said, "Yeah, they sure come in handy, stuff like that. That's the best thing to work is just plug in. You ain't got to go outside looking for gas cans or nothing. You know, which we have a gas generator too, but for the long haul, I guess you might say." Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Appreciate it. Yeah, Dorothy Toller, no lights. If I'd been closer by, I'd have took one of them over there and plugged her in. And there you go, girl. Yeah, I think all the Peggies are here. Uh, I was chatting with Peggy Coleman yesterday. That's why I got the names. uh, Tell me about her weather and stuff, and up on her farm there in North Carolina. And North Carolina, our station there is a beautiful place. And I said, "Tell me about your farm," and she did. And is she lives in a very rural county. It's all farms. And I said, "Yeah, I love that. There's places up there you just drive for hours and just see." Back then, tobacco farms and big old tobacco barns and stuff, just and different crops and stuff. You know, it's beautiful, beautiful. Because I'm a country guy, you know, I like that kind of stuff. Uh, I personally see nothing pretty about these cities. People say, "Oh, look at the skyline." I don't want to see it. I want to see trees. Good morning, Kentucky. All right. Yukon Tommy, is he on here this morning? I hadn't seen Yukon Tommy yet. He probably still chipping that ice off that internet, getting it to working. I watch a lot of these Alaskan shows. Uh, these old boys living off grid and stuff, and they're tough. Them guys are tough, I'm tell you. I could have done it when I was younger, and would have done it maybe if I hadn't been married and stuff. And I'm not saying I should have got married, but I'm just saying I might would have done it. You know, I think Thomas went to Alaska when he was 22. That's what he's telling me, and you know, and stayed. But yeah, I might would have went up there and off gridded and stuff. You know, when I was a young man, I wouldn't want to try it today. Uh, anyway, uh, okay, it was talking about Levi for a minute. I talked to Kim a few minutes ago. Okay, I talked to her. I called her early this morning, and she finally called me back. Uh, Levi finally got a room. Now, they was in the emergency room all day yesterday and up in the night. And Tina and Rob went down and stayed with Kim, and I was so thankful for that. We had the baby till late, and but anyway, they went down, stayed, and took Kim and Levi some dinner. But Levi didn't have an appetite. He said he'd eat one piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think, and that was all he wanted. But this morning, she said he's got a little bit more appetite. He's ready. She's going to go get him something to eat. They told him he didn't have to eat hospital food if he didn't want it. He don't want hospital food. But she said she's not going to leave to go get anything for him to eat till she talks to the doctor, and nurses will be coming. They had a hard time getting his blood pressure and his heart rate down last night. They kept him in that little emergency room tent thing, as you call it, a little divider off, for a long time, kept checking on that, you know, his blood pressure and his heart rate and stuff. And finally got him a room and put him in a room at 2 o'clock this morning, or a little after 2. Hey there, Sarah, you're okay, baby. And so she won't know a whole lot more till she talks to the doctor, but he has pneumonia, and she won't know a whole lot more till she talks to the doctor himself when he comes in today. Uh, and whenever we'll give you all updates, or she will. I'm pretty sure she will. I'm going to go down. She asked me to go down this morning to get her 2 little dogs and bring them up here with these guys. And Buster will probably tolerate them. He may have to straighten them out a little bit, you know. But they'll stay up here, and she said I can keep them day and night if I want to, and that's fine. I said, yeah, they'd be fine. We got 6, so I'd only make 8 little dogs. Be a pack. But or she said, but she could take them back at night. So they like being, you know, a bit home, and so I could take them back at night if I want to. Just during the daytime, keep them up here with us. No, I'll do that. And I'm sure she'll be assigning different little chores to different people, because she has a little farm down there as to, you know, chickens and her goats and her cow and, you know, all that kind of stuff, cats and stuff. So we'll all be, usually I think Steph takes care of most of it. She knows what everything gets done, you know, what to do with each thing. But we'll do whatever that we need to do. Yeah, little Junior now, I think is back home. Now, they was at Texas Children, I'm told. We don't get it direct communications from Jake or any of them. We kind of get it second-handed through Lou and them. But they sent him home, and I think, and he'll supposedly going to be fine, I think, from what I understand. I forget what the name of this they said he had, but it was not something that's I mean, it's something that's not that rare. It happens, and people, you know, they get over it okay, you know. So, anyway, yeah, thank you, Brenda. Yeah, Jake's gonna be fine. Little Jake will be fine. It's awesome. Worry about the little guy. Uh, worry about Jake and them are way off over there by themselves, you know. Uh, anyway, good morning, Deborah Barnes. we got a lot of people on our prayer list, so let's kind of go over them real quick, okay? And there may be some more here, okay? I may not have everybody, because I've had so much going on in my mind. I had hay delivered yesterday, and all this is going on too, and trying to deal with all of it. Uh, so, yeah, and Alyssa too. I think Alyssa passed out on them, so that's me watching her too. Uh, got Levi. Pray for Levi. Got pneumonia. Little Jake and his mama, Alyssa. Vera. Pray for Vera. She's told y'all about her condition, and she's gonna beat it. But we're gonna pray for her all the way through it, okay? And Carol Cadacey has got to have some surgery done here, some pretty serious stuff, next month, I believe. So make sure we keep her prayed up, okay? Madeline's mom has lung cancer. And Madeline lives in California, and she asked for have you guys pray for her mom. I don't know her mom's name. God knows her. That's all you guys need to know. And then there's Ray Studdard. Keep him in your prayers. And then there's Ronnie. I think Ronnie, they'll have, I think, a medicine or vaccine, not a vaccine, but a medicine or antibiotics or whatever for his specific condition, I think, brewed up by next week. I say brewed up. They have to make one from cultures they took that would work on what he has, on the infection he has. And I think that's going to happen next week. So I know he's excited to get that stuff done with. He's had it for a while. And I'll be glad to see him back on his feet too. Ronnie and I have been buddies. I told you a little bit about the other day. You know, I don't know exactly who talked to who first. I can't remember if he called me or I called him, but we had a phone number and a communications there, and right off, I saw he and I had just so much in common, and if he's feeling better, I'd say other things about him, but I don't want to talk about a man when he's got it down. But no, we did, and I've enjoyed our conversations with him, and he's probably become my best friend, you know, and for not to live close to each other and stuff, because we only really met twice, and both times I was abused, but that's okay. My mom used to say, consider the source. Consider the source. Yeah. And as her was saying, somebody says there, just consider the source and keep going. But he's a good guy. I realized way back how sorry he was. Sorry, Ronnie, I had to throw it in there. Buddy. Anyway, no, I love that guy. Your mom said that too. Yeah, that's a good saying. Just consider the source and keep going. Oh, Bree and I, my hay man called me yesterday morning, and he said, I've got a load of hay coming your way. I said, oh, Lord, you know, normally he'll let me know, you know, a little bit before. But they've had such a hard time in them hay fields this year. You know, we've had these little old rains, not big rains, but it's like little old rains every 3 or 4 days. It's great for grass. It's great for grass growing, or hay growing. It's great. But it's not enough space in there to come in and cut these fields and let that hay lay there long enough for 2 or 3 days to dry, especially if it's thick. Fluff it up maybe. Sometimes they have to come in and fluff it up. It's real thick. And let it dry before you can come back in there and rake it and bale it. Because once you rake it into that windrow, it's not going to dry much after that. You know, it's going to start twisting up. And then you bale it. You don't want to bale it damp because it'll create a heat. It'll get hot and it creates a heat. And it'll actually combustion. It can, that whole bale catch on fire. It'll burn your whole barn down, you know, if it's in the barn or out in the fields, wherever. So it's got to be dry when they bale it. and it's really been hard. I think he does it on a big scale. He told me he had baled over 1,000 rolls before the weather set in and it started to stop him. He said then he just had the hay fields just sitting there and he couldn't do anything. He got still 3,000 or 4,000 rolls to go before the winter. But anyway, he called me. He said, we're in a field. I got a truck coming your way. So I jump up. I said, okay. I'm not gonna say turn it around. I'm going. So I run out. I call Bree. And Bree's such a standby. I mean, she's, I could have done it. I'd have been slower at it. Bree's real good on the tractor. Her and old Dan, and I'm sure Lester is too now. Lester's been doing it all this time up there by himself. And they're all good on the tractor, and I can do it. Just not as fast as they are, But anyway, she was home. I said, hey, I need you to go get the spear, the hay spear, put on your dad's tractor, and I got some hay coming. You help me get off that truck, or at least get the spear. And so she did. She said, I'll unload it if you want me to. And I said, well, that's up to you. Usually that guy that brings it does it. He's real fast. He does it all day long, every day. And but a different man came up. He drove up and he said, you want me to do it? He said, you gonna do it? I said, well, I think if you don't want to do it, I can get my granddaughter. He said, all right. And here she comes. He said, there. He was climbing up on the tractor. He said, there she comes. He hopped right back down. And she did. She unloaded that whole truck. And then her and I put it away. And they brought the second load and she unloaded it too. So she's you can't help but admire Bree. She's a go-getter and she don't back up from nothing. She just roll up her sleeves and just don't jump right in. But that's my hay I'll need for the winter. I believe I shouldn't need no more than that. That's 30 rolls, and I give Bree a roll for horses, and I'm sure Dan needs a roll, or cows or goats or something, or Bree needs a roll, or Kim needs a roll. They're welcome to it. There should be plenty, but if not, then we have to get some more. But anyway, yeah, she gets things done. She sure does. We got it all done. Today I'm gonna help her on a gate out here. She got a gate. She wants to lower this gate. You can see a space right over here. There's a space. The gate's propped up. It's you got to pull that bottom hinge out and lower that gate down. Both hinges have to come down. And she said she couldn't get it loose. She said, I put a wrench on it, PawPaw, and I stood on it, jumped up and down, and it still wouldn't. I said, we'll get it, baby. We may have to put a cheater bar on it or a cheater pipe. We'll get it. Hey, Buster. Anyway, that's what's going on here. The house is on a where it's got a hold on it. We're not doing anything over here. I may do it today sometime and get some of that plumbing for that septic lines coming up out of there and coming in up to under the house. If I have time, I'm going to do that. If not, that'll just be put off to another day. But we've got a lot to do now with watching everything here and trying to help Kim with her stuff too. And this house is not a priority. We all understand, it's not like we're homeless. If I was out there in the tent, when winter coming, I say, oh, please hurry, but we're not. We're not in that shape, so we're okay. Now I'm gonna try to catch up on some of the stuff you guys are saying. Somebody's eating some blueberry stuff. It's good, yeah, I guarantee you. And blackberry. Oh, and that red plum jelly? Well, guess what I saw the other day? That's my jelly. I come in and she spreading something on a piece of tile. Whoa, that's mine. I didn't say a word, just walked right on by and started staring at her. Yeah, thank y'all for praying for these guys, and all these folks here, Pray for all of them. And if you don't know the names, you ain't got to know the names. God knows who they are. Now I'm trying to start looking for some birthdays here. I haven't, I was talking, so I'm not paying a lot of attention to what all's being said, so will I expand that space in the back? Which space we talking about? Someone said I need to add on my back porch. I may do that in the future, but not right away. Laura has a birthday. Okay, Laura, I'm writing your name down. Please do not. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. Start bracing yourself. Just brace yourself. That's all I can say. Laura has a birthday. Hang on. Jason. Jason and Laura. Okay, I got those two. Laura and Jason. Okay, Dawn has a birthday. Dawn, okay. Uh, okay. I've got Dawn, Laura, and Jason. Good morning, gentlemen. Morning. Okay. All right, so I've got three: Dawn, Jason, and Laura. And so if I miss somebody, y'all tell me before I get to it. Y'all song because I know how it affects some folks. I haven't seen friend Thomas on here yet. He may be on here. He's probably chipping that ice this morning. I like chatting with people where they live, and finding out about where they live, and if they out in the country and stuff like that, in different countries. I like that too. It's good to know. All right, Thomas, you there? All right, buddy. Good. Thomas is here. It's nice to know where people you're talking to, where they live, stuff like that. Something about them. I don't get to talk to too many people because there's not enough time in the day to just sit and really talk to everybody. But I get emails and stuff and messages from folks and tell me a little bit about where they live. I live in this town, I live in this country, I live out in this area here, and then we have this, we do that, stuff like that. It's really neat to just thing to know about people. West Yorkshire in the UK. All right, see? Now I know where they live. Don't know anything about West Yorkshire. I may have time to look it up. I've had people tell me I live in such and such town, and I'll go to Google and look it up, even in other countries, and I can kind of see things about them, about that area, Yeah, I'm in Flat West, Texas, Lubbock. Now, oh yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. Old Dan loves Lubbock. He loves that area up there. Dan they have some jobs up there he has to go up and check on. Abilene and Lubbock up that way, and he loves it. He says, if I didn't live here, Dad, that's probably where I'd live. I says, what do you like about it? He says, well, he says, there's cattle everywhere. Cattle everywhere, and everybody wears a cowboy hat. Okay. All right, Dan. So, yeah, he loves Lubbock. And he said, yeah, it's flat. He said, you see forever. There's Wisconsin. Wisconsin. It's got the dairy state where they have lots of dairies, Wisconsin. I think so. Yeah, there may be lots of wind and sand blowing around up there. I bet on that open country up there when it gets cold, you get on north winds blowing, I bet it does get cold. There ain't nothing to stop that wind. Yeah, you're probably not gonna find a pine not to sit on fire either. We'll just see near Hull, okay, in Yorkshire. Okay, I'm gonna try to look it up, Dolly. Ontario, yeah. Yeah, a lot of you guys from Canada. Awesome place up that way. I think probably all these places you guys are from, it'd be different from where I'm at. So it'd be, be something exciting to see, Northern Arizona, somewhere in Arizona, maybe New Mexico. I'm one or the other. You're coming through, it's like desert, okay? Yeah, I've been through there several times when I was in the service. You're driving along, and it's just, but all of a sudden you kind of come down in this valley, and for miles it's just pine trees. I mean, thick pine trees. And then you come back up, you're back out in the desert. I don't know where that's at. It's somewhere over that way. I've been through it a couple of times. Oh yeah, Dorothy, do us uh, send us some video or something of your goat yard. Dorothy's got new toys for her goats, and the goats love toys. My goats have that old boat out there, and they love that boat. And you ain't ever heard such in your life. Run up down that boat, and then I got that platform with a slide. And that's not a lot of toys, but for the amount of goats I got, they make do with it. Even the grown goats get up on top of that boat and wrestle back and forth. I know Ronnie's sick this morning, guys. He's the medication he's taking causes him to be nauseated. And he gets nauseated anyway, they just, and I guess it's the antibiotics he's taking, and even though that's not the antibiotics he really needs, it's kind of holding it in place until they get the right stuff, if that makes sense. I think it does. Yeah, keep writing your prayer. And he gets well, he'll be back out there chasing them chickens, them gators, stuff. Or chasing the gators off his chickens. At least that's what he claims when he's chasing chickens. I don't know. I wonder. Thomas has his own views of what he's doing. I can't repeat them. Cold winter coming. I wonder about the winter. And I knock on a little wood here. It's been and maybe I even shouldn't say it, but it's been kind of a slow hurricane season, it seems, as far as the Gulf. There's about a bunch of them out there, but they all kind of keep turning up. Praise God for that. But because now I was talking yesterday, he said about the weather. He said, man, it's so hot, but he says it's dry. He said, but I wonder what the winter's going to bring. I said, yeah, I keep watching, for something to come into the Gulf. And he said, yeah, me too. He said, so far we've been very fortunate. Yeah, we have. We don't need no hurricanes. You sitting here next to me? All right, Don. All right, he's sitting right here with me. Yeah, how you doing there? Bill has a birthday. Okay, let's get Bill on here. We ain't got to worry about Bill, unless Bill's a girl, like the boy named Sue. I'm guessing Bill's a guy. Got you, Bill. We're going to sing here in a minute to you, buddy. Family in Garnett and Ottawa. I guess both of those are in Canada. Ottawa surely is. I'm serious. Ronnie and I have talked about it several times. It's just amazing. I'm sitting here a little on the front porch in East Texas and talking to people in Canada and England and Scotland, Ireland, or all them other places, and New Zealand and South Africa and down here in Australia and places like it, and then all the states too, all the states around, and that could have happened. I don't know when internet started. I have to go back and see, but that wouldn't have happened before it. It would. Back in the day, I was overseas we had to write letters. That's the only way we could communicate. Send letters back and forth to home to us, and it's days of going and coming. Guys over there now come in out of the field and they sit down at their tablet and be talking to their wife and kids or parents immediately. You know, it's awesome. It's awesome. To me, it'd be kind of sad too when you had to hang up, but at the same time, it would be kind of a morale booster. I think if you're out in the fields, when I get back in, if we get back in tonight, I'll talk to my wife, my kids, or my parents, or whoever, and be able to see them, see them right there on that screen. It's awesome, I think. Technology's come a long ways. It kind of left me behind. It kind of left me behind. Barry, Ontario. Okay, Kelly. Afghanistan, you can FaceTime. See, that's what I'm saying. That's so awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, FaceTime from Afghanistan. God love him. That's all I can say. Woo! I don't know. That's a hot, dry, arid land like that. All the time I was in places like that, it's Camp Pendleton. Places we went was wet, wet and hot. There you go, Ronnie. Ginger ale. I told Ronnie eat some crackers. Eat crackers. Something might settle it. Something. If I get sick in my stomach, and very seldom I can eat crackers or something. It helps out. Yeah, Ben's a hard worker. Got the little thing that popped over. Ben's a hard worker. Yeah, Ben is, and Ben is strong as a bull. And but Ben, you got to show Ben exactly what you want, and that's okay. Ain't we all like that to a certain extent? I want this here and this over, and he'll get it done. He'll get it done. The problem with Ben, and I've said this to Ben, so I'm not talking behind his back, is when Ben gets started. When he gets started, Ben, I've been up since such time. Ben don't get started about 10 o'clock. About 10 o'clock before Ben gets started. Even the days when he drives over, it's about 10 o'clock before he gets here. And usually he'll drive up and I say, Ben, we're going to do this, this, and this. If you need to eat something first, or sometimes you don't have breakfast before he comes over, go get you something to eat and meet me out here. We're going to get started on this stuff over here. And he does. But, yeah. Summertime, boy, it gets hot. It gets hot early, Ginger tea with honey. But Ben's philosophy, and it makes sense if you don't need to go back and double check or anything like that, or you can go ahead and go about your business. Because he says, well, you tell me what you want done, I'll get it done. Don't matter if I'm out there all night. I'll get it done. That makes sense. I'd rather it be done at a certain time, if possible. Anyway, if we get up, we do good. I work. He works for me 2 days a week, and I think in January, G said January he'll start some classes, so he might not be coming over here as much. I'm not sure. Anyway. Oh, Dan, somebody said something about Dan. Dan went to Utah. His company sent some of them out there, a break, what are you going to call it, a treat, I guess a treat. Yeah, they got a treat to go elk hunting. And they flew him out there, and several of them, and he got him an elk. Sent me a picture. They went out, they flew him out on Sunday. And Monday morning, bright and early, he got him an elk. And I said, now, I guess, what are you going to do now? Just sit around. So I just hang out with the guys, I guess. But they all flying back at a certain time. On a certain flight, they already got them set up for. So, anyway, he got him an elk. And Some of them places, though, you know, talked about it before. They go on these hunts, and I've talked to other people too that go on them. It's just kind of a go for the rack, the antlers and stuff, you know. And you don't get to bring the meat back. Dan said, no, Dad, I'm getting my meat. I want the meat. So yeah, we'll get some elk. And I'm not sure how you cook elk. Do you do it just like hamburger or sausage, or I know deer meat. There's only certain ways you can cook deer that it dry it out on you. Deer meat will there's no fat in it at all. It'll just dry out. Not sure about elk. Maybe it might be like a cow. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, uh, elk is delicious. I bet it is good. Uh, Somebody said of Ronnie they were sick the first 3 months they was pregnant. All right, might be. That could be Ronnie's problem. He kind of looks it. Could be. Could be. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. Uh, yeah, it is. That's what they're selling them out there. They said sometimes if they don't harvest some of these animals, disease and stuff breaks out, and so they keep them at a certain number that there'll be plenty for them to eat. There won't be no starvation, and that's the way they narrow it down, you know. And that's probably what someone makes it in their chili. That's what Dan does when he gets a deer. A lot of it goes into chili. They make chili with it, you know. Uh, my dad taught us as boys growing up, you don't kill nothing unless you're gonna eat it. That's where they grew up. You don't go out in the woods and you see something, a bird on a limb, shoot him, or something run across the ground out there and you shoot it for the heck of it. Be an armadillo or whatever, you know. If you're gonna shoot something, it better be something you're gonna bring home to eat. That's the way they was raised, and that's the way we was raised. We also, excuse me, we were not allowed to hunt dove. Yeah, because it's in the Bible. Yeah, that's true. We couldn't hunt dove. But I had uncles that hunted dove. They'd go all over South Texas hunting doves and stuff, and we could hunt birds, you know, ducks and all that if we wanted to, if we're gonna eat them, but leave the doves alone. So we did. Never eat a pheasant. I raised a pheasant once, but never eat one of them. When I worked for the sheriff's office, there was I went out to make a call on this place, and this guy raised pheasants, and got to know him pretty well, and he had quite a few of them in these big cages, like runs. I guess you call them big runs. And I said, would you sell some of those eggs? He said, oh, yeah. So I'd go out now and then, and I'd a couple of different times and bought some eggs from him. And I had that big old incubator, and I hatched them, and I raised them up quite a bit. And then I'd turn them loose in the area, hoping they'd take. But, you know, there's too many predators, I guess, stuff around here or fire ants, if they did raise up and lay or whatever, mate and have, you know, the fire ants stuff and get them, I guess. We never did see hardly any. You see one now and then across the road maybe, and that's be about it. All right, Don, you watching our video yesterday of the hay? Yeah, me and Aubrey, and I picked on it the whole time. It was hot. It was hot yesterday. Yeah, it was hot. I like rabbit. I love fried rabbit. Somebody's having rabbit stew. It was hot, and I was on that little tractor of mine, that air conditioner. See, Breeze used a big tractor to unload. It just don't have a cab. So every time I'd pass her, she'd be wiping her face, and I was doing so hot. So we stopped. I says, I think I might go and put a coat on. PawPaw, got on to me. Lester told her, says, Lester came by and he was laughing at it. He said, well, Bree, he said, just kind of remember one day when Dad's gone, he said, maybe you can get that tractor. He might leave it in your wheel. Now, she got to be nice to me to get my wheel. I either got a string hanging on the back of my neck or there's a bug flying around the back of my head. All right, bear meat is nasty. Never eat a bear. Never had a bear. I have had buffalo burgers. I have eaten a buffalo burger. One night a guy brought some, at one of our rendezvous, brought some buffalo burgers over, and we had grilled some burgers. Buffalo. Pretty good. And never eat elk. I've eaten lots of deer and stuff like that. But we'll see. All right, let's get on down to our songs. Get this out of the way, okay? Let's get our songs out of the way. Okay. All right. Buffalo's good for you. It probably is. All right. I've never had no moose either. I'm sure Thomas up there in Alaska's had moose and probably bear, caribou. Yeah. I'm guessing. Okay, we got 4 on our birthday list, okay? 4. We got Laura, Jason, Dawn, and Bill. Squirrel. I'll tell you a quick story about squirrels. We was raised on squirrels. Yeah. I haven't squirrel hunted in years, but we was raised on them. And when we first got married and got out of the Marines, I come back come winter, every Saturday morning, because I worked all week, every Saturday morning I'd get up early, I'd go out there in where that subdivision is now. There's a special place I liked. It was went down this old pipeline about a half a mile or so, and then off the side there's a big old oak flat, just oak trees, all these acres and stuff. Also a good place to, maybe see a deer or something. But I went for the squirrels. I always carried buckshot with me in case I saw a deer. But anyway, I'd take my thermos of coffee and I'd get down there way, still be dark. And I'd go walk down and through our ways, find a place. I'd sit down beside a tree, lean back on a tree and drink my coffee and sit there. And it just started getting daylight. Those trees would just light up with squirrels. They were everywhere. Now, the minute you shot your gun, then they scattered, they'd hide. You'd have to sit back down and wait a little bit, and they'd start moving around again. I'd get my limit. I think our limit was 10. I'd get 10, come home. And G and I would get out there in the backyard, we'd start skinning squirrels. Yeah. And I didn't go every Saturday, but I went as many Saturdays as I could. All right. The 15th was Tina's birthday. Yeah, they had this whole month for that family is birthday month. Dustin was like that Friday. Tina's was his was Saturday, hers was like a Monday, whatever day it was. Rob's is this month. Ben's is this month. Rob's dad is this month. And the whole family, everybody except for Elijah. I think his maybe October, November, somewhere through there. He missed it. Anyway, all right, here we go with the birthdays, okay? If I don't have your name on here, happy birthday anyway, okay? All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Laura, Jason, Don, and Bill. Happy birthday to you. All right, we got an Amber on here now. And an Ashley. All right, y'all being late, but I can do it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Without even writing it down. Happy birthday, Ashley and Amber. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Yes, yes. How intelligent I am, Ronnie. Didn't have to write them two last names down. If I didn't pick on him, well, his wife would have to do it. And nothing funnier to call over there and her be chewing on him. Or especially if I instigate it. Call over there and see I get him on speaker. That's the best thing to do it. And know it. And he's already told me he got in trouble because of this or that. Like when he had the chicken cage out there on top of her patio. Why? I don't know. So I call over there and they sitting there together in the living room, whatever. And it's on speaker and I can hear her talking and I said, I can't believe, Ronnie, that you had put them nasty chickens out there on your wife's patio. Oh, that lit it up. She laid into it. I know it, I bought it. And he looked like if I could have saw him, he would look like a crawfish going backwards, going back and backing up. Oh, I loved it. Oh, yeah. All right. Where are we at here? Anna Maria Piazza, you on here today? Pretty sure you are. Roddy don't eat rabbits. Rabbits are good. His boys growing up, or even later than that, we'd go rabbit hunting at night and get us some rabbits and skin them out and fry them up, make dumplings out of them. Same way with squirrels. It's them old squirrels, you want them in dumplings, Now, my dad liked raccoons. I never developed a taste for raccoons. To me, they were a little bit greasy. But he would take an old raccoon, an old one, and he'd boil him first. And then he'd barbecue him. It's all we ever done is barbecue him. A young one, he'd just put him, clean them all up and put him in that pan and barbecue, put him in the oven. Wasn't bad. Just never developed that taste. But the rabbits, oh yeah. But you know what? You don't see many rabbits around here no more because of those coyotes. I'm pretty sure they've just about cleaned the rabbits out. Now and then you'll see one maybe on the driveway, closer to the houses, I'd love to get a bunch of wild rabbits and just turn them loose. I don't know where I'd get them. But yeah, just turn them loose and kind of hope they'd replenish, Probably all I'd be doing is feeding them coyotes. Squirrels are not real big. My brother, who lived in Seattle for years and years, had a business there and had clients. He was a CPA. And he said some of them guys come in, they'd be talking about hunting and stuff, some of his clients and stuff. And him being raised here in East Texas, he'd always bring up, well, as a boy, we squirrel hunted. They said, squirrels? You mean no things in the park? Oh, yeah, they good eating. You eat them? Oh, he'd laugh about that. He'd call me sometimes. Man, I had them going about how we fry them, make dumplings out of them. Yeah, I guess all they thought about squirrels was in the park. Somebody asked me, would I sing on their birthday? If we're on here, we will. If you got a birthday a day before, a day after, we'll do it. You just have to let me know. Yeah, pray for Levi. Someone talking about praying for Levi and Kim too. Because I'm going to tell you something. Kim is not going to leave his side. Nor would I expect her to, but she will not. If he allows her to go downstairs and get something different to eat besides that hospital food. Maybe. Besides that, she's not going to leave him. Uh, that's that's her life. I mean, Levi is her. They're just like this, and yeah, even when he mixes up a bunch of stuff in the kitchen, yeah. Uh, oh yeah, Donna had a skin one. A rabbit's easy to skin. Their skin just almost peel off. You know, they're really easy. Squirrel's tough. You got to almost cut it all the way off. You know. Uh, Somebody was telling me about having to butcher a chicken here a while back. They said, I hate to think about picking that chicken. I said, don't pick him, just skin him. A lot easier, you know. Just skin him, just unless you just want the skin, you know. Oh, squirrel brains. My mom would. Not me. I've never eaten no brains or nothing. Uh, yeah, Kim is a strong, amazing lady. She really is. Kim is. Jennifer, tomorrow's your birthday. You want me to sing to you today, sweetie? Hey, we can do it. Or we can wait till Friday. It's up to you. Let's just go ahead and do it, Jennifer. Yeah, we're going to do it. Guys, y'all get ready. Y'all hang on. Jennifer, brace yourself. Brace yourself. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Let's say to Jennifer, we're going to talk about this hospital staff. See, somebody stayed with their daughter that had a car wreck all the way through the whole thing until she got to come home. I can imagine that. All right, Jennifer, here we go, baby. You hanging on? Just brace yourself. If you're afraid you're going to bite yourself, take a dishcloth. Bite down on it. You ready? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. All right. If you bit yourself, wasn't my fault. All right. Yeah, you know, people, this one lady said her daughter was in a car wreck, and she stayed with her the whole time, even until she got back home. And I think that's awesome, you know. And Kim will be the same way. She ain't gonna leave. She's not gonna leave Levi at all. Not gonna leave. Well, thank you, Don. Have a great voice. Ronnie, hear that? Dapper PawPaw got a dapper voice. Anytime somebody says I'm dapper, Ronnie starts cussing. Yeah, he can't stand it. Can't stand it. And I told him, I said, I'll get you a dapper hat, Ronnie. You can be dapper. Thank you there, Molly. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep all them guys. You know, we're having a lot of fun here, but there's folks here that are sick. And let's just remember, okay? Just remember them in your prayers. And, hi, Lena. Just remember those, because even though we're having fun and talking, you know, there's some that's at a place this morning, they're not having a lot of fun with their situation, okay? So let's remember them. I've got a dapper cap for Levi. Man sent me the first two I got, and one was a little bit loose. It's kind of more of a winter type cap, but it's nice. It's really nice. It's just a little bit big. So I asked Levi the other day would he like to have one, and he thinks he would. So yeah, I'm gonna take it to him, and I'll probably take a picture, put it on a video with me, him with one on and me with on. Two dapper guys. His blood pressure was up last night. I forget exactly at 1 I thought G told me maybe like 150, 152, over something. I don't know what it was over. Uh, and his heart rate, and I don't know what it was, but it was fast. And so they kept him in that emergency room area, I guess, until they got, okay, 152 over 101, you said, okay, that may be it. I don't know. Yeah, evidently Kim posted that. Okay. Uh, thank you, Elena. It is a peaceful place. The roosters start out here. Shut up! They don't listen. It's okay, Buster. It's just them roosters. I think Breeze trained them to interfere. Uh, I think she laid an egg. That's a hen. She laid an egg. Live on a farm, you hear that sound? She's got an egg. And yeah, that's what that is. Anyway, yeah, it was like they kept him down there until they got it, I guess, stabilized or got it to where they thought it was okay to move him up to a room. So I don't know at what point, what it was they finally moved him up. I'm not for sure. Uh, Say she'd be squawking if she laid an egg too. I bet so. I bet we all would. Oh, Lord. Uh, I think Ronnie's getting on to Thomas because Thomas is crushed. Poor Thomas. He's got feelings, Ronnie. Thomas has got feelings. I love these guys to get it going back and forth. It'll make your day. You're out there working, you're hot, you're tired, you're sweaty. And all of a sudden you see something like that. Thomas eats fish heads. I don't know. But yeah, you can't help but laugh at it. The next thing you know, you got something going back from Thomas about Ronnie and them gators. And I'm trying to be out of it, trying to be innocent, trying to be, just stay out of it. I'm neutral. And all of a sudden, I'm pulled into it. I'm drug into it. And then Jimmy, Sweet Jimmy, and Sweet Steve. Sweet Steve will be pulled into it. Yeah, they just keep, like octopus, they keep reaching out trying to drag people into their stuff. I hate it. Yeah, they cheering her on? Yeah, probably Ronnie shares Cheetos, them gators, they wouldn't chase him. Thank you for the prayers, guys. Thank you all so much. Buddy has been working some very long hours, guys. I've told y'all before, they built 2 new campuses during the summer, but they didn't get them completed until right about the day schools are going to open. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, I'm innocent. And Buddy is over the technology department. He only has 2 guys in his department. So here are these 3 people, him and these 2 guys, have got to try to wire this place up. All this technology, the internets and all that kind of stuff, get them all in these classrooms. And they can't do them during classes. They have to wait till like it's an off period or something to go into work, and you can't do a lot in an off period. Pull all your tools in and all that kind of stuff. So they've been working at night, see, And I think some on the weekends, trying to get stuff up and going. And so he hasn't been able to come back really work on the plumbing that much. But that's not a big deal. We're not in no dire situation here, It's okay. When it gets done, it'll get done. Roberta, wasn't for me, you wouldn't have all these people in your life. Well, you know what? I'm going to take a minute to talk about that, if you don't mind. I believe that for all of us. For all of us, not just you. If it wasn't for this channel, I wouldn't know Ronnie. I wouldn't know Thomas and Steve, and Jimmy and Dorothy and Peggy's and Elena's, and I wouldn't know none of you folks. And the list goes on. If I didn't, the Piazzas and the Cardaces and stuff, I wouldn't know all this stuff. I wouldn't know you. Uh, so this channel is opened my world up too, you know, and I consider all y'all my friends, and I believe we met somewhere on the street. We have a whole lot to laugh about and talk about, and yeah, I know they're annoying. They're not annoying. Y'all don't stop. I'm gonna turn Buster loose. Buster don't care. He don't care about chickens. I'm gonna get me a chicken eating dog. Uh, yeah, they're cutting up. That girl laid an egg, and they all probably proud of her, and she's probably thinking, I don't want to do it again, not today. That's why they do it one a day. Okay? One a day is enough. Uh, anyway, yeah, we have all made friends on here, guys, and I love it. I love that. If nothing else, like I said, you ain't gonna learn a lot here, uh, but we have fun. And we have our coffee together, and I've been asked several, why don't you do it 5 days a week? I don't know if we could do it 5 days a week. You know, I don't know if everybody want to tune in 5 days a week. You know, I think, what do you think, Woody? So we'll keep it at 3 for a while and just see how it works out. I've often thought about if I do a live, like a Saturday live, it'd be like cooking breakfast and stuff, and just sitting and talking while I'm making breakfast, you know. It might not be an hour long, you know, a 30-minute one or something like that. We might do that later on. But I do want you to thank you there, Sharon. Sharon's telling y'all to hit the like button and share and subscribe if you haven't. And if you new folks, oh, them chickens don't bother me. They really don't. Not gonna move them. They're fine. I'm gonna have 3 little goats over here before long when I get moved over here. I can move my farm with me, you know. But I would bring Ivan too if he wanted to. Yeah, I can see him out there now too. Shut up, chickens. Shut up, back in them ears. Kicking them when they walk by. But anyway, yeah, we have made friends on here. If you're new here, you're welcome. You just get on here and start chatting, you know. You say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm from so-and-so, and I'm new. These folks will hook up with you. So many have made friends on here. And I'm always amazed about that. And that when I'm off, done turned this thing off and went on about, you know, doing stuff, they're still chatting on the phone or chatting on emails and text messages because they made these friends. They're lifelong friends. And I love that. I love that. And I love sharing what I do. And I love hearing what you guys do. I love reading where you're from and things you've done and things you do. And Thomas living in an igloo, stuff like that. I think it's really neat, you know. You know, wrapped up in a bearskin rug and got internet. And Ronnie being chased by gators. All that's neat to me. It's just really awesome. I love y'all. Y'all take care. Keep those prayers going for these folks that need prayers. And happy birthday to all you guys that had a birthday. Best donkey. My Lord, look how I run down the side of it. Best donkey ever. That's what you call a cup that's drooling. I love y'all. Y'all take care.